My name's Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher. My pronouns are she, her. It is Thursday the 13th of April today, and it's a nice spring day outside. It rained when I dropped Anna off at nursery, but it's brightening up and all the little buds are out on the flowers. It's just a good spring day today. So I got my yellow shirt on, sunshine, and yeah, feeling really happy about spring, like coming out of this winter depression that I normally get. I don't know about any of you, but I definitely have the SAD, seasonal affective disorder, and it's starting to come out. We're getting there. Anyway, I have shuffled my deck and we're going to see what's on top. So today we have the Two of Swords. And I will read from my book because I like reading from my book. I like the script it gives me almost. But this is all about decision, indecision, sitting with options. But let's read it. Okay. The Two of Swords signals indecision. Take time out away from it all. The quiet will do you good. Sometimes we need to isolate ourselves to get perspective. This card can also indicate a deadlock, a situation that's not moving, an opposition or stalemate. No one budges. Depending on the other cards, it can also mean a truce or a time when you refuse to take sides. Another interpretation is blocked emotions, a barrier, emotional unavailability. The heart chakra is closed down and nothing can get in. In some cases, this card can also indicate weighing options, meditating on the possibilities. I like the Two of Swords. I think it can look a bit menacing, like one figure sat there with two swords, but swords are all about your thoughts. It can be about conflict, but I see it as more of the challenges and your inner thought, your own challenges within yourself. Anyway, that's our card for today. Two of Swords. Let's have a drink. So, oh, I didn't say what last week's card we had the Five of Wands. Nothing really came of that for me. Don't think. I think probably because last time I filmed, I had just done some readings with my husband. So I think it was one of his cards. Really, I try to when I'm shuffling and thinking about pulling a card, I think about a stitching community, and rather than like a general feeling, I think about the stitching. So I know I've like focused on it more in other cards that I've pulled, but like this makes me think of one of my whips that I'm going to talk about. And can somebody remind me to talk about it? Because I'll forget. But yeah, I think about it in the stitching, and I know some of the ones that I've pulled have spoke to you stitchers in a personal way, and I think that's really, really nice. But I'd like to put some kind of context on it that it's for stitchers. So I try to think about that when I'm pulling the card, and maybe I just wasn't careful enough the last time and I was pulling it for my husband. I had some residual energy into that. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting thought of mine. What I'm loving. Michelle. Our wonderful Michelle. So she had given me a shout out in one of her last videos. I did get a comment or two saying they came over because of that. So hello, if you're from Michelle's channel, welcome. And also Michelle's tarot journey. She's just come on this tarot journey herself. I'm loving her decks, loving her everyday pulls that she's doing on Instagram. I love her insights. So if you like the tarot stuff and you're not already following Michelle, because of course everybody is, give Michelle's videos a watch. Love you, Michelle. So on to the stitching. I have no finishes, as per usual. But I've got 4 whips. So let me see, what shall I pick up first? Let me pick up the closest, just because. So this is Let's Make a Statement number 2 from my Stitch Dad and yours, These 20 Stitches. This is kind of my, oh, how do I say it? It's my odd whip. So, you know, I've got, if you've been here before, I've got my little plan of my whips, and this doesn't conform to any of those because it's let's make a statement. So it has to be its own thing. So, I think I'm about 60% done according to Pattern Keeper, and loving it already. So I'm stitching this on 28 count. Is this annoying with the, is that better? Sorry. You think I know better. 28 count even weave navy blue, with the call for threads apart from a different blue, because it's hard to get the call for blue in Europe, I found. And I don't have the variegated floss, so I am doing like 2 rows of stitches, blue, 2 pink, 3 white, 2 pink, 2 blue for like the trans flag all the way across the top. And yeah, loving it. Love my needle minder on here. Loving it. It's just a nice stitch. Thank you, Dee. So yeah, a couple of things with this. I got a nerd tube. I think it was on one of Michelle. I'm going to talk about Michelle all video. Twitch streams, maybe. We were talking about nerd tubes, and yeah, I hadn't tried one before. I'm kind of an out and out Q-snap girly, but this, it doesn't quite fit in my 6x6 Q-snap, so I have to keep changing. And because it's not one of my regulation whips, I don't have a designated Q-snap for this. So I thought we'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We'll order a nerd tube and see how we like it. And then Let's Make a Statement always has something to go in. Because I'll just be stitching these as soon as they come out. They won't go, I won't even put them in my to be stitched list. It will just be stitched. So yeah, I'm liking the nerd tube, liking the size of it. This is a 6.5 inch one, so it's just that tiny bit bigger, the area wise, than the stitchable area, I would say, than a Q-snap. The tension is fine. I think because the edges are a bit thinner, I am like pressing on my fabric, so it is possibly distorting the tension. But if I were just to leave it, like it's not going to lose tension by itself. It's because I'm pushing on it. And yeah, it's really smooth. It tightens really tight. It's easy to tighten, easy to loosen, and the whole thing fits on here. So I think it's just the perfect thing for Let's Make a Statement. So this nudge hoop will be my Let's Make a Statement hoop. And also, this is my Let's Make a Statement sal box, because I think we can assume that Dee will always use the same 4 colours, or 5. I think it's 5 if you are including the variegated floss. So I've just got the green, the pink, the blue, the white, and the étoile, and then that's my next piece of fabric for the next one. And I'll just keep everything in here with this beautiful sticker that I got last year at Northern Pride from Conscious Euphoria. Made this sticker and a couple of other ones that I got, but I just thought it was perfect to have my trans sticker on my trans sal box, and then I don't have to unkit this. All I need is like a little project bag. Again, don't have a spare project bag. I don't really need a big one. I just kind of need a little pouch for this whole thing to sit in. Because my thing's on Pattern Keeper, so I don't need a pattern. But yeah. So yeah, about 60% done on that. It's really quick stitch. It sits on my desk at work. And yeah, this is my first one. And I think when I finish this one, I'll get them both out together, and then I'll start thinking of actually making them into little pennants and putting a banner together and having a banner up and then just adding to the banner as a new one comes out, rather than wait till all of them come out, because I think this is just going to go on forever. As long as Dee wants to design them, I'll be stitching them. So yeah. So my other desk project, which is one of my official whips, is Gather Here by Liz Matthews. And this is, where am I? Oh, that's the wrong way. Let me wrap this up. So this is Gather Here by Liz Matthews. I just said that. This is a piece of linen, like banding. Kind of like a bigger version of that you would get doing a bookmark or such. I think it works out to about 25 count. I don't think it's official, but I have counted each individual stitches, and it does fit. It's 1/1, 25 count, let's call it. And the top, it's both classic colourworks. The top is bejeweled and the bottom is, I always forget this. I've written it down in a comment somewhere. There's a spider in my project bag! Ah! Mr. Spider, you can't live in there. Excuse me? Excuse me. No, that's not okay. Can you see him? No, Mr. Spider, you can't live in there. I'm assuming your gender. Oh no, he's like right in the crease. Oh. Can you come out, please? See him, look. Would you mind? You can go live under the bed. I don't mind. I like spiders. no. Did he go? Oh shoot, I don't know where he went. Now I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to squash the spider. I hope there was a gender on it. Wow. Well, that was fun. There was a spider in my project bag, and now I don't know where it is. Cool. Cool. That's fine. Spiders are cool. I just don't want to squash it and 1, kill it, and 2, it get on my fabric. Never tried to wash out spider smush before. That was unexpected. This is Gather Here by Liz Matthews. I've already said this. I don't know how much of that I'm going to edit out. Yeah, I was trying to find the thread and then I saw the spider. Top one is bejeweled, bottom one is deep fennel. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, this is about halfway done now. I didn't really work on it a whole lot this past 2 weeks. We had 2 bank holidays here in the UK for Easter, so we have Good Friday and Easter Monday off work. So didn't have a lot of time at my desk, and it has been busy at work recently, so I'm gonna keep looking for this spider until I see it crawl away somewhere safe. Ooh. I have to put a trigger warning on this video for people that are genuinely arachnophobic. I don't know what to do now. Let's have a break. Okay, I'm back. I think I've composed myself. I still don't know where the spider is. We will just wish it pleasant journeys. Okay. That was Gather Here. It was my desk project. I didn't work on it a whole lot, but I am halfway there now. So that was that. My next project was a new start, really, but it was on my list and it hadn't yet been started, so I needed to kind of start it because it had an allocated project bag and key snap and it was on the list. So this is the start of Saki Girl Cabin in the Woods. Is a big freaking project. Okay, so this is the call for fabric that I no longer purchase, and I'm stitching it with the Mrs. Sadis silk conversion pack. Loving these beautiful silks, and loving this. Look at that variegation in that flowers. Like, how cool is that? This is gonna look so good. Love these little skunks, and the bigger skunk I just have to finish. So all of these I'm kind of parking. This is as close to parking as I really get. Because I don't want to snip it off when I can, figure out where it goes. This tree, this is a big fuck off tree. Oof. It's this big. I didn't realize how big this was. So to give you an idea of size, this is 40 count linen, is the call for linen. I'm doing it 1/2 because that's how much silk is provided in the pack. And it's this big, right, so I counted. So these leaves of the tree, I guess, branches of the tree, I think that was one length of silk that I put in, and that is 6% of the leaves, because this is the only colour. This is the only colour within the tree apart from these trunky bits. And then this is the only time this colour appears in the whole pattern. So through Pattern Keeper, I was able to work that out. 6%. I ought to do that. I don't know how many times 6 goes into 100. Was that a stupid thing to say? I ought to do this how many more times? A lot more times. Lots more times. I really like the pattern. It's one of those patterns where I can't decide where to go next. Because I'm like, oh, I should stitch all of this foliage with this thread. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to come over here and I want to do this plant pot, and I want to start on the path that goes up to the house, and I'm jumping around all over and I'm loving it. And this is not my usual style, but I just love this pattern. So yeah, it doesn't seem a lot. I guess because I don't do samplers a lot, you forget like how much work actually goes into like this small little skunk and these little flowers. But yeah, loving it a lot. Really glad I've started now. And yeah, it's gonna take longer than I thought. This is gonna be way longer than I thought. But you know, that's okay. That's okay. It's about the journey, not the destination. Again, I'm gonna talk about Michelle again. So I don't know. So I became a member of Michelle's Patreon. It's the first Patreon that I've ever signed up to. But loving it. So I don't know if it was in the Patreon chat or in a YouTube chat. It's all kind of blurring into one. But she was talking about being a project stitcher rather than a process stitcher, and I am. And she was like, I'm a project stitcher. I need to finish things. I need to get them out, do things. And she's got, you know, by the end of the year, she'll have like 200 whips finishes, and 200 whips probably. And I'm like, no, I'm quite happy not having any finishes and just stitching on the things I like. And you know, that's what I love about this community, is because I adore watching other people's finishes. I really like watching stitchers that aren't like me. For that variety, like, it would be so boring if we just looked at people that look like us. Getting a bit existential about life here, but yeah, I am really happy being just a process stitcher, and I'm just putting the X's in, and it doesn't matter when I get finished. And I'm okay with that, and I love me for that. But I know Michelle loves me for that as well. And I love Michelle for all her finishes, because I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that at all. And I love that there's so much variety in our community, and it needs to be celebrated. We shouldn't be tearing each other down for that. Okay. So my last whip, which relates to my card, which is what I thought about immediately when this card came up. This is Silver Creek Samplers Singer Sampler series. I'm doing this 2/2 on 40 count, which is crazy even for me. But I really want it to like pop. And it's not too dense of stitching that I can't get away with that. So anyway, what I want to talk about is, excuse me, so I had chosen a rainbow colour. This is kind of inspired by Jan Hicks, who was inspired by someone else, who was inspired by someone else. I'm just kind of going with that, kind of brighten the whole thing up, because it's, when you look at the colours, it's a bit muted, which ain't me. For this one anyway. So I wanted to go with the rainbow theme. Loving that, but it took me a while to figure that out. I don't often do conversions, and this is probably one of the first and the biggest conversions that I've done. So it's taking a little bit of time, and I have to sit with some decisions. And sometimes that means stepping away from it. So let me tell you the story. So I chose the colours and I stitched all this, and then I put it away because I knew that that was exhausting enough for me with this particular project to do that. So I completed that part of it and I was happy. And then I thought, I will come back to it. So then my next session on this whip was just to pull it out and pull the colours for, because I've changed everything. I have a list if you'd like to know when I eventually stitch it and you actually get to see what it looks like. But yeah, it took a session to kind of do that. And then I had to put it away again and let it settle. So last video, when I picked it to stitch on, I was really excited because I kind of done all the work and I could just pull it out and stitch. Well, one, all the words, like the doe, a deer, a female deer, are stitched in one colour. And past Helen had decided not to change that colour. And present Helen thinks I should change that colour. Because I don't think, or not that I think it won't look good, I think it could look better. So I would like to do better. So still sitting with what that should be. And I think I've come to the decision of stitch everything that you've already converted and then come back and do the words and see how everything looks together. Because that's probably what I'm going to have to look at first before I make a decision. Secondly, saw someone on Instagram, and I can't remember the handle name, had done a similar conversion, not quite a full rainbow, but they had done like a dark colour or dark hue of that colour for the doe and the outside, and then a lighter version of the same colour for the words. And I really like that. So I could do, so I've got like red, and I could do like a light red, a light orange, a light yellow might be difficult on this one, light green, etc. I don't know. I'm gonna stitch everything apart from the words and then come back to it and see. Anyway, so that took a bit of my stitching time, was the mental processing of that, which already cut down on my stitching time with this whip. Excuse me, I'm getting over some kind of chest infection or something. So I started stitching. This is, oh gosh, like, let me count. It's like 45 stitches across that box, something like that. And I messed up so bad on just those little bits of grass and the stem, and I had to rip it out. And I was like, oh, okay, not a great start, but It's okay. And ripping out 2 over 2 on 40 count is not fun. And then I stitched the deer. You can see the ghost of my deer. It's not as bad as it looks. And once I stitch the deer again, it'll be okay. But I stitched the deer in the wrong place. And within that, I had stitched the spots on the deer in the wrong place. But I didn't realise that until I was like coming down this back leg. So I'd already tried to fudge the spots, and then I realised the whole thing would have to come out anyway because it's in the wrong place. And I'm just getting the same feeling that I did with needleworker, little house needleworker. It was just cursed. This is now my cursed whip. It's cursed because I'm going to keep making mistakes on all of this, and especially because I've done a full conversion. And I know psychologically that's a self-fulfilling prophecy because I've said it now and I'm making it happen just by saying it. And if I had a more positive attitude towards this whip, it would probably turn out better. But I'm just accepting my fate. And know that I'm going to love this finish. I'm not going to love the whip. I'm going to keep making mistakes, stupid mistakes, and I don't know how I make them because I'm really good, usually, at counting and making sure everything's right and taking my time. I wanted to just leave the deer there and maybe fudge the words, but because I'm already having trouble with the word colours and it might not fit at all, I just need to rip it out. So really, the past 2 weeks with this whip, I've only stitched these flowers. Which is just, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is pathetic, you should be doing more. And then I'm like, no, be kind to yourself. And I am sitting with the decision to not make a decision right now on this whip. This whip is going back in its project bag. It's going in timeout, and I will talk to it later. It can go to its room and think about what it's done. It's my opinion on this whip right now. So yeah, that's me. But that's me as a process stitcher. Is I've spent a lot of time this past 2 weeks on that whip, but not actually done some stitching. But to me, that's okay because it's still progress. I want to say progress, like American. It's still progress. Mentally, I'm progressing through it. And I think project stitches, or is there a different word that Michelle uses? Stitchers who just want to finish everything really quickly. I mean, she probably wouldn't choose that whip, but wouldn't think about it and just be like, oh, I can just fudge it, it's fine, don't worry about it too much. And I sit and I think about it. But just thinking about it, it counts for me towards stitching. Sitting and thinking about stitching is just as much fun for me as actually stitching. But yeah, that's my fourth whip that didn't really get a lot of physical stitching. Or not at the end anyway. I mean, I did a lot of stitching that had to come out. But that's okay. So, haul. I got my nerd hoop that I talked about. I guess I signed up for Michelle's Patreon. So I guess that's a bit of haul, but that's, you know, you don't get anything physical. You just get the nice fuzzies. And then I talked last video about Hearts for Pam. That's coming in like June. And then I did sign up for I had to look it up because I've forgotten. So Patchwork Rabbit here in the UK are doing a Fabric of the Month club with Fibre on a Whim. And I've never used Fibre on a Whim fabric before, and I've never been part of a Fabric of the Month club before. So I signed up. Because if I don't like it, I can just stop. And that's okay. So yeah, I'll let you know when that comes in. But not a lot of haul apart from that. Trying to not cut back, but just be conscious of what I'm buying. You know, there'll always be patterns that come up that I just have to have, and yeah. So plans. Stitch for Pride 2023. I haven't yet done my April stuff, and I didn't manage to get it done this morning because I had an emergency at work that I had to sort out that I think I fixed. Nobody's come back to me to say I broke it even more or it's not fixed, so I'm hoping that's okay. But I planned to do that this morning with my cup of tea, and I haven't, so I'm going to do it after, or do some of it at least, after I filmed. And then other plans. Let's see what's on my magic board. So my upstairs whip will be Prim Animals, which is my primitive hair, cotton wool, linen, silk animals. And then 11 by 11. So I've got Autumn Queen, Moon and Stars, and my chatelaine. I think, have we got any plans? Life plans. Anna's birthday next week. Okay, so let's take out Autumn Queen. Just because I know I haven't worked on her in ages. So yeah. Prim Animals, Autumn Queen. Tiny paintings will come out again for my desk whip. And I'm going to carry on stitching on Let's Make a Statement 2. Oh, excuse me. So that's Whip Plans. Life. It's Anna's birthday this week. She'll be 3. Where on earth did that go? So we are going to Butterfly World. They have just like a big greenhouse type thing and butterflies flying around, and the little caterpillars and the chrysalises. I haven't been since I was a kid, so I'm excited to take Anna and her little cousin, or her big cousin. Yeah, her big cousin, and possibly a little cousin as well if the new baby comes. And I also ordered the little caterpillar kits that you can get. They send in a little pot, and they've got the food in, and you watch them grow over like 2 weeks, and then they turn into butterflies and you let them go. We did that last year. My auntie got both the girls little kits, and Anna loved hers, so I ordered one for Anna and one for her cousin, so they can go to Butterfly World, and then we can be like, oh look, here's your caterpillars. Yeah. Anyway, so I think I wish I had like that when I was a kid, watching caterpillars grow. So because it's like around this time that it's Anna's birthday, and the the caterpillars start growing, I'm gonna do that every year for her birthday. Like get her a little caterpillar thing experiment that she can do, because we love the science in this house. Any science experiments that we can show her, and she's like she wants to know how everything works. Likes taking stuff apart and putting them back together, and helping my husband with anything really, but especially like DIY stuff. She loves the drill. It's a bit scary. But apart from that, I don't think, I'm looking at my little I've got a calendar on my wall now because object permanence. No, that's it. I'm gonna go back to work. Probably edit this while I'm sat at my desk. I still can't see the spider. Now I'm worried for it. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.